Hey everyone, Draw here, and it's time for another CGC return. This time we have an express return. And yeah, I'm just ready to get into it. Not too many submitters this time, but still some really nice cards, so yeah, let's get into it. First up, we have James C. James C sent in some pretty decent cards. Heavy hitters, if you will. First we have a Charizard GX from Hidden Fates, and it got an 8. This is in the range I kind of expected for it when we sent it off. Centering is obviously quite off on this card. There's also some surface scratching in this area that doesn't necessarily show up on camera very well, but there's some surface scratching on this edge. So very solid grade. It's a Hidden Fates Charizard. Just about any grade in this card is a good grade, so great card. Next card. Got Charizard VMAX Shiny, and it got a 9. So great grade. Centering is what held it back, and the centering is definitely off. And yeah, can't complain about a 9. Then the last card James sent in, we have another Zard for his Zard trio. Here we have the Rainbow Rare. Very, very hard card to pull, get a hold of. And it got an 8-5. 285 or 385s and a 9-5 on the surface. Yeah. Solid card. Beautiful Rainbow Rare. So yeah, that is everything for James. Next we have Micah. Micah sent in 2 cards. First up, we got the Umbreon V Alternate Heart, my favorite card from EV Heroes. A card I actually graded myself not long ago, and it got a 9. 10 centering, 2 9-5s, and an 8-5 on edges. Let's see if I can figure out why it got that 8-5 on edges. There's definitely a little white dot up here, and give me a second, I'll look at it a little closer. Alright, so it has a white dot up here. And it also has some indentations going along the top up here. Those indentations are manufacturer. It's the mirror image of the texturing, so nothing you can really do about that. It's very subtle, but it definitely affects your edge grade. But still, it's a 9, so no complaints at a 9. And then the last card Micah sent in, we have a Blastoise from base set 2. Great looking card. I remember this one. And it got an 8-5, which is actually higher than I expected for this card. I expected about an 8 out of this, so very, very nice. Got 2 9s, an 8-5, and an 8 on the corners. Very, very solid grade for a base set 2 Blastoise. It's all for Micah. Next we got Eduardo. Eduardo sent in 1 card. It is Blaine's Arcanine. Eduardo actually has 2 of these. One we sent off to SGC, and we thought they were about the same grade. But I'll be curious to see what SGC thinks. This one has a nice swirl right here. I don't know how visible that is. And it got a 7, which is actually pretty decent. I thought it was about a 6 to a 7, 7 on the high end, so very, very nice. 8-5 centering, surface 6-5, corners and edges 7. So very nice, near mint card. Classic Wizard of the Coast. And one of the best Arcanine arts out there, so great card for Eduardo. Next we have Brandon. Sent in 3 cards. First card, red and blue full art. Underrated card in my opinion, and it got a 7-5. Surface at a 6-5 is what held it down. I'm actually going to take a minute to look at this card and see if I can figure out what about that surface dropped it that low. So, yeah. So this took me, no lie, like 5 minutes to really figure it out. There is a very, very slight, I don't even want to call it a bend, but there's something going on right here. But the main thing that I think held this down is down in this bottom corner. There is a manufacturer indent from where they were cutting the cards. I sent in a Japanese Dark Blastoise that graded a 7, and it had the exact same defect, and the center surface score was the same there. So I think that's what held us back. It's a manufacturer indent down on this corner. Actually, don't know if this little tiny bend up here even would have affected it that bad. But I noticed it. Like I said, I looked at this card for quite a long time. I would have missed this setting this in myself, because the amount of time it took me to find that was a lot. But first card. Alright, next card for Brandon. We have the Sleepy T-Tar from Battle Styles. No pun intended, but I think this card is kind of slept on. And it got an 8. 2 8s, a 9, 5, and a 9. Centering is definitely off, you can see that. And surface at an 8, there's probably some sort of texture defect happening. Or something of that sort. But still, great alternate art. And the last card for Brandon. We have the Pikachu Secret Rare. Still an undervalued card in my opinion. It's one of those arts that's just going to be classic forever. And it got an 8-5. Centering 8-5, corners 8-5, surface 9, edges 9-5. You can tell right off the bat the centering is definitely off. And there's whitening on that corner. A little bit on the bottom corner, so I think that's a fair grade. That is all for Brandon. And last but not least is a card that actually wasn't in the preview. Hova got it to me a little bit late, but it made it into the submission. And it is an Espeon V Alt Art from Eevee Heroes. Really, really nice looking card. I had high hopes for this card setting it in. And it got a 9-5. 3 9-5s and a 10, so very, very strong card. I feel like one of those cards that probably could have got a 10 on the right day. Beautiful looking card. And yeah, that is all for this submission. So hopefully you're all well out there. You have a favorite card in this lot, let me know. Alright everyone, take care.